Hey everybody, welcome to the PSICONIC Arena that's about leadership, Web3 impact. So I'm your host, Millicent, and today we're going to be hosting our live with Ronnie Al Sheikh. So we are streaming here from Australia, and so we'd like to be able to give our acknowledgements to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander families, past, present, and emerging. And so, for everyone who's joining us tonight, please feel free to let us know where you're joining us from. We'd love to know. Drop it in the chat. Thanks for joining us. We're going live at 9:30 p.m. AEST. Thanks for coming along tonight. Hey everyone, so a little bit more about our guest speaker tonight. We have Ronnie Al Sheikh with us tonight, and he is the founder of the Avi Project. It's a platform and marketplace for underserved communities. Ronnie is also the founder of the REC Foundation. He's been involved in an impact launch as a producer, which sources, develops, and nurtures startups that support the SDGs, or the Sustainable Development Goals. He's also been an ambassador of the Is There Enough NGO, and he's very passionate about social impact, innovation, and social change. So we're going to be going live and bringing Ronnie onto the stage at 9:30 p.m. tonight, a couple of minutes. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. Bit of a shout out before we start our PSICONIC episode tonight. This is our second episode. We've got Usman joining us in from Nigeria, so shout outs to Usman. We've also got Sahid from the Psi Protocol team. This event is proudly brought to you by Psi Protocol. It's about shifting what's possible. See you soon. Hey everyone, less than a minute ago before we go live. Thank you so much for joining us, the Psychonic Arena. It's about leadership, Web3, and impact. So join us as we casually explore how today's leaders are shaping a more conscious, connected future. We're very proud tonight to be able to bring on stage with us Ronnie Al Sheikh. He's one of the leaders that is located in Australia and has been doing some fantastic work in Africa. So, without further ado, I'm going to come on stage and welcome you all. So, hey everybody, my name is Millicent, and I'm so happy to be able to host the second episode of Psychonic. So, we have Ronnie Al Sheikh joining us today. And so, wherever you're streaming in from, please let us know because we are very happy to be able to have you along with us. So, I can see that Ronnie is in the back. So, if we can bring Ronnie on stage. GM, Ronnie, how are you?
Oh wow, look at that, eh? I feel like a celebrity.
You
Backstage
are.
and then the curtain opens and I come forward. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Yourself?
I'm doing well. As you know, I'm in Melbourne, so lately it's a bit cold, but anyway, I'm doing good. Just come back from
Yeah.
China, as you know too.
Wow, it sounds exciting. So, would love to hear about a little bit about your travels later on. But for our viewers tonight, Ronnie, for our session tonight, who is your message for? Yeah, why should ones tune in tonight?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because we've got a couple sectors that we're talking about. We've got Web3, blockchain, but also impact, and we're combining and connecting the two. So hopefully it'll be insightful and people will get to hear some of the things that we're doing and also what Psi Protocol is doing also, and probably together, which is fantastic. So hopefully it's yeah, like I said, insightful and interesting.
Yeah, so it's very like a broad sector that we are reaching out to tonight, and so like a little bit more about your journey, Ronnie. Like, tell us about your story. Like, where did it all start for you?
Yeah, in impact, it was a few years ago. It was around the COVID times where I felt that I should be doing a lot more than just for myself and obviously for my family, which is still important. But I come to realize that I can give a whole lot more, being in leadership positions, at my workplaces, and a privileged position, mind you, too. Food, water, shelter, employment, education. So I thought, why not replicate that for others? And put the message out there and got a response with people that were in this space, and it all started, in Africa, and looking at what I can do there, and from not only funding, but really creative ideas on supporting the communities that needed the support and sustainable solutions out there. So I thought I joined an organization called Suki 222 that was doing uh, water filtration and supporting the communities there with clean water. And then eventually I thought, I want to do more than water and shelter. So we started to work on education, and that's where blockchain came into it. And I'm sure we're going to dive deeper into, Web3 and education. But that's the journey over the last 4 years.
Wow, that's certainly a lot of work that you've been doing, like overseas and also locally as well. I know that you run the REC Foundation as well. So, in your experience, like, what has been some of the challenges that you have encountered in your journey within the sector?
Yeah, it's building a team, having people on the same page and putting their hand up. It's quite difficult to really get resourcing, not only within my own team, but also wherever we want to collaborate and partner with. So a number of things around that too is clearly around funding and investment. And as you know, you're building hopefully a solution that supports that moving forward. So that's some of the challenges that we face, not only people putting their hand up, volunteering, but even paid. So it does get difficult with the communication challenges as well abroad and locally. So I'm trying to support the people that need help remotely, and that can be challenging as well, not being on the ground. So yeah, I guess resourcing, funding, donors, communication. They're the things that I felt that really can be some roadblocks, and also the actual right solution. So you can think about, hey, this is a great idea, and we're going to work on it, but that's not always in reality. It can work in practice, so to speak. So we've had to tweak many times to get to where we are now.
Yeah, certainly. Like, that is a lot of like access to funding as well as like communication you mentioned. Like, what do you think the flow-on effect of those barriers are for into like service delivery for the underprivileged communities?
Yeah, well, they face the brunt of it clearly, because there's a lot of things that aren't working. So, um, like currently, we've got governments that will say they want to help, and they're clearly not. And then there's people on the ground that say they are who they are, and they're probably not. So then, there's people like myself that they have to try to trust, which is quite difficult because I'm in another country. So that's always something that plays on the mind of the communities, but also on my mind as well. I'm like, do they really believe in me? And how can we make a difference and jump on board with what we're doing? So it's taken some time. It's been 4 years in the making, and there's going to be many more years to come that there will be some barriers. But clearly, uh, those will they've been before me during my time and probably after my time. Like resourcing and funding is always going to be something that will face. I guess this system that we're trying to that's broken that we're trying to fix.
Yeah, 100%. And so running like so we're like clear about some of the challenges within the sector as well as the lack of support for those who are doing the work on the ground. So in your like experience, what are some solutions that you think could help to tackle those challenges?
Yeah, I think trying to get everyone on the same page is always going to be a challenge. I mean, whether it's in workplaces, in government, in communities, it's always going to be something that if you can all go on the round table, not the rectangular one, the round table where it gets everyone together, to definitely work. Is that the fix? Probably not the overall, but it's a start. Getting everyone on the same page and talking about it. But yeah, like I said, we've got something we're working on, which I'd love to explore and obviously a little bit about. So yeah, that's one thing that we feel that can make a difference, which is in education. So I'm happy to unpack that a little bit more. And yeah, like I said, the round table, um, something that has a sustainable, I want to say money flow, but if you know what I mean, something that can continues to help communities, whether they're community-based organisations or non-government organisations. The CBOs and NGOs need that leadership. They need the ones that can really help drive that, so we can provide the money and the resources, but how can we make that sustainable? And that's the thing
Yeah.
that is the challenge I feel, because and I wrote it down as a comment. We can give a family, and this is a hypothetical number, but we can give a family $100, and that could last a month, right? And then like the Red Cross and many others, and I'm not berating any of the fantastic organisations out there, but if we're just going to put that run of the mill money, providing it to communities and families, when that runs out, what happens the next month and the next month? They become reliant on that. So what we feel is providing the opportunities for the self development and sustainable development, and using their own resources there. So the plantations, the schooling, the teachers, providing education to the teachers so that they can, educate the young, I'll call them students, but they're not going to school. And how do we get them to school? How do we motivate families to send their children to school? How do we stop child abuse? How do we stop I hate to say it, rape, all those kind of things. We're looking at and reviewing, and we've got two initiatives and projects that we're working on in Africa, and we feel we're already making a difference on those.
That's amazing. Like, yeah, and there's certainly a lot of community need and causes that need support. And yeah, humanity deserves to have equitable opportunities for
Exactly.
sure. And yeah, for sure. So like we're in the Web3 space and with that comes AI and that. So like what are your thoughts? Like what do you believe the role of Web3 and AI are in the social impact space?
Well, it's a very good segue. Clearly, we've spoken about community and sustainable development, and how do we help. One of those solutions is Web3 that we're definitely working on, and I know you are too. And
Yeah.
yeah, having the opportunity to sit here, not only talk about, it's not about me, if that makes sense. It's about what we're trying to create that's going to help people. And what we've been looking at as a real solution is education on game-based platform, and within that there's tokenization and rewards. So we're going to bring, and it's not only underserved communities. Anyone can use our platform, and anyone can use uh, the education that's on the platform. But it's all about rewards and tokenized rewards for learners. So that could incentivize and motivate students to come to the, we'll call it the classroom, and whilst they're learning, they're having some fun and interactive view of the content. So there's a lot more, I guess, motivation to continue and to complete. And with that, there's yeah, like I said, the tokenization. So having the AVI token and investment into the token enables our distribution back into the communities. And that's a perfect example of using Web3 and blockchain and tokens and cryptocurrency and beyond that to solve a problem. And that's what we're looking at with, pausing on there. As you know, that's what we've been working on. Within the platform, we also have AI and what we call as an equalizer. So all along, we've been looking to make it an equal opportunity or an equitable solution. So having AI will help learners. So you and I learn differently. So we're going to go and complete a course together. Let's say it's Python. We're going to learn at different paces. We're going to learn and understand it in different ways, but the AI will adapt to me and to you. So as we're completing the quizzes and the answers, it would understand where we're at and our interpretation and learning of the content, and adapt the way I have and you have learnt it, and to ensure that we end up in the same position at the end. And that's where we feel someone that's probably not up to the level of the understanding of the content versus someone that's at a high level, we bring them sort of together because we're catapulting the one that doesn't have the understanding. So AI will help in that instance too, and on our platform. So yeah, both of those, as you mentioned, are really important. We feel, and going forward, and we've only scratched the surface because it's an MVP, but that's what we're looking at doing. So yeah, I think they're both fantastic ways to help our space that we're working on, which is social impact.
That sounds exciting, and with what you're already doing, and look forwards to what you will also be building in the future as well. So, Ronnie, do you have any other thoughts that you would like to share out with the audience or to our listeners?
Yeah, look, I don't know who's on and how many, but what I'd love, for people to do is to, if you're not in this space, get in this space. Whether it's in impact, it's liberating, it's powerful, and it makes you feel good. It gives you that rush knowing that you've helped someone, or multiple people, or many people, and getting involved, even if it's 1 hour a week or 5 hours a week, it's just something that has made a massive difference in my life to get involved in, and you don't have to create your own. No one's suggesting creating your own foundation or um, putting significant amounts of time or money into it. So whilst I put in a lot of time and I put in some money as a donor, that's my choice and what I like to do. Everyone can do it at their own level, and I feel there's more of you out there. And before I saw the light, I didn't know that that was my pathway. And having this pathway means a lot to me and my family. So, my wife's very supportive, gives me the time, allowance like this evening, looking after the children whilst I'm, on here, promoting the, impact work that you do, I do, and everyone does. So, yeah, if anyone has been thinking about it, please do it. Jump on board. Doesn't have to be with me. It can be with anyone. Yeah, so I feel like that's a hopefully a strong message, for people, because when you do it, and hopefully you do, you will see the difference even in your feeling and the way you go about things. On that part, yeah, and then I guess on the other part is the I guess we're only scratching the surface of Web3, as everybody knows, and yeah, just believe in it. And some people look at it like it's you know, um, a distrustful space, and there are distrustful people out there, no question. But in any industry, in any environment, including political, there's people out there that do not do good, but there are good in Web3 and the ecosystem. And again, I feel like there's people like yourself, which you don't give yourself enough credit for, Millie. That there's people like us that are really trying to make a significant impact through Web3, blockchain, and the like. So hopefully those two insights will, uh, I guess, help whoever's listening, and hopefully they can take that away.
Thank you so much, Ronnie, for all your insights. And just so that you know, we're streaming live on YouTube, X, as well as LinkedIn. So, yeah.
That's
So,
daunting.
yes, well, and we're only just starting. So, for ones who are out there listening, like, where can they find more about the work that you do? Like, where can they find you? How can they contact you?
Yeah, that's a really good point and good question. So there's a couple platforms. We don't want to confuse people, obviously. We've got the Avi project, the Avi project.io. I haven't used that platform in a while because we've been working on the Avi apps.io. So aviapps.io is launching on Friday, which is great timing. Not This wasn't obviously, you and I planned this 3 weeks ago, but we're launching our MVP on Friday, and hopefully within the platform you'll see there's an ability to raise funds through our token. So aviapps.io, AVYAPPS.io. So that's our platform for education. So that's where all our content will be going on. Admins will create courses, and students will complete courses, and there'll be rewards. So it'll be fantastic. But we've also got the aviproject.io. That's our main umbrella page, where we focus on many other things other than just education, platform. So there are our two websites, and yeah, I'm happy obviously to give my email address. So ronnie.alsheik@gmail.com. So my name there. So as you can see, RONNIE .elcheikh@gmail.com. Shoot me an email if you're interested in joining our project, or getting involved in impact. Yeah, so and then yeah, follow us on LinkedIn. So the Avi Project. We've got some great posts happening. Our academy, school academy in Kenya, Kakuma camp has kicked off today, our first day. So we've got 40 new students doing maths, English, and Swahili, and that will be that. All that content will move onto the platform in the next month. So that's going to be exciting. That young students who were not doing school in school now, and which we've been sponsoring and partnering with 3 CBOs in Kakuma Camp. So what follow our stories on LinkedIn, and yeah, we've got a sports academy also in Kakuma Camp, Kenya. So again, we've got stories, 3 times a week on LinkedIn showing all our work, all our work there, and it is liberating. So hopefully, yeah, LinkedIn, email, website, yeah, there's obviously a YouTube channel, but you can probably find that if you put the Abbey Project in there as well. So there's a lot happening, and yeah, it's absolutely exciting. So thank you for bringing that up, because I probably would have missed the contact, and yeah, it's highly appreciative that I get the opportunity, second opportunity to come on to your I'm going to call it show.
Yeah, and it's certainly a privilege also to have you on with us as well, Ronnie. So, like, well, we're nearly to the end of our sessions, our episode together. Like, this is the second episode, so we thank you so much for coming in onto PSICONIC. But before we wrap it up, like, we just have a question here for you. So the question is, like, what is your why behind why you do what you do? Like, what drives you to do what you do?
Oh yeah, it's seeing this. It's a hard one. Before I won't break down, but you know what I mean. Like it really it gets into you, I guess. So when you reflect and you see the smiles on whether it's children's faces or teenagers' faces or adults' faces, it doesn't discriminate. A smile doesn't discriminate. It makes you feel good. So before I did what I did, I cracked a smile. Don't get me wrong, but there's a different feeling when you help somebody else out. So it's like a medicine or a drug in a good way, not in in a bad way. It's like something that that when you're doing good, you feel good, and that's my why. And I feel like that's something that definitely drives me to continue doing what I'm doing. So even working harder at work, and ensuring then I can give back to community. So yeah, seeing the smiles on people's faces, knowing that I made a difference, gets me up in the morning. Obviously with my family too. Don't get me wrong, love them to death. But yeah, obviously, it's a really good question, and hopefully that's given insights into the answer.
Yeah, it certainly does give an insight into the answer and into what it is that drives you to do what you do, Ronnie, putting smiles on people's faces. And that is one of the reasons why we are very happy to work alongside you and to help share the message and the projects that you're doing right now. The Avi Project, everybody, check it out. That is the second episode of PSICONIC. So thank you so much, Ronnie, for having you come along and share what it is that you're doing, also the challenges and the solutions that you're working on currently and in the future. We certainly have enjoyed having you on. And for those who are in the audience, if you are passionate about leadership, Web3, or even impact, DM us. We would love for you to come on, and we would love to be able to showcase your project and work. And we also have our team behind the scenes as well, helping out. So if our team is able to come on stage, so we've got Tapu. So Tapu is
Look,
one of our NGO. We also have Sahid, and we also have Usman, but they do not have their cameras on. But yeah, shout out to our team behind the scenes. Thanks everybody for joining us for the second episode of
you're doing a great
PSICONIC.
job, everyone. Well done.
Yeah. Okay. Like, take care. That was fun. That was fun again.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.